to Biden's clemency. I want Michael to kind of take this one because he's our resident clemency expert. So Thursday, Biden announced he's commuting sentences for 1,500 people. 39 Americans convicted of nonviolent crimes are also going to be pardoned. This is the largest single-day clemency apparently ever in U.S. history. Previously, the most were issued was by Obama in 2017, where he did 300. Shortened a sentence of 330, I guess, in one day. 1,499 of these who received commutations had already been serving their sentences at home for at least 1 year under the COVID and CARES Act. So these people were like already in, your communities. Like, let's get that clear, because I think some people are like, oh, he just went, unlocked the door and let them all. Like, no, these people a lot of them were out already serving sentences at home or somewhere, and he's just commuting their sentences. And so there's been, I haven't seen a ton of outrage, but I have seen some. But generally speaking, Michael, why don't you talk to us about this? This is your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the specific names of the people on that list, but let me talk about what I think happened here. During the COVID era, there was a program, because there was so much COVID spreading in prisons, to let the low-risk prisoners go into home confinement. And at the time, we had advocated very strongly to President Trump that those who were eligible for home confinement should receive mass clemency. And it looks like that's what Joe Biden did here, which is a good thing, because what these people were talking about that get released into home confinement, they're typically very old. Their crimes, they've been in prison for a long time. They have a demonstrated, record of rehabilitation and good records in prison, and they don't really pose any threat to society. And that's why they were let into home confinement in the first place. And I think what we were suggesting to Trump, and what it looks like Biden has done here, is just commute their sentences and let them stay home. Obviously, they still have criminal records, so that causes all sorts of problems for reentry. But I think, give him props when it's due. I think this was a good move. I thought Trump should have done it, but he had all sorts of other things going on. And a lot of people are going to get reunited with their families, which is a great thing right around the holidays.
Yeah. I'm just going to read a couple of these really quick, just not even a handful. Norman O'Neill Brown, 56, nonviolent drug offense when he was 22. He, if he would sentence under current law, he would have received a lighter sentence. He served 20 years. Obama commuted his sentence in 2015, and he's since then worked for nonprofit organizations and things like that. Now he was fully pardoned. Arthur Byrd, 58, nonviolent drug offense at 23. I mean, yeah, a lot of these, 60-year-old woman, nonviolent drug offense, doesn't say when, but a long time ago. Most of these, they've served more than half of their life in prison for, and I don't want to say most, I didn't go through most, but the ones that I was just reading, more than half of their life for nonviolent drug offenses.
Yeah. You're probably going to have some people who reoffend if 1,500 are let out, but I think that these are mostly low risk people. And those folks so during the Obama Clemency Project 2014, he commuted a lot of life sentences to 30 years. So those people stayed in jail if they hadn't served the 30 years because of the changes to the sentencing guidelines. But these are folks, I would think, Trump passed First Step Act. It dealt with a lot of these kind of low risk prisoners who have really long sentences, but there were still some remaining in jail, many of which we advocated for individually, and some of which Trump gave clemency during 2020. But again, understanding the parameters of what was done here, I think this was a good move.
You keep saying we, and you're not telling listeners who we is.
We, I was part of a group of people who were advocating for a number of people in prison. The group was led by Alice Marie Johnson, who most people know, and Matt Whitaker, who was the acting attorney general. And we were reviewing cases of people who are in federal prison for long sentences, a lot like Alice Johnson, where they had a minor role in a drug conspiracy or something like that, and they've served 30 years. And while in prison, all they've done is improve themselves or tried to improve themselves and not got in trouble. And we'd asked Trump, to commute some of these sentences. I think we recommended 130 or so cases to him, and he granted clemency and pardons to, I think, 70 or 80 of them. And those people got to get returned with their families, and it was awesome. But nobody in the media talked about it, because why would they give Trump praise? And at the same time he gave these people clemency, he pardoned people like Roger Stone, which, whether or not he should have done that, I'm not debating. He shouldn't have done it at the same time.
Didn't he pardon like Wiz Khalifa or something like that?
I don't know if he pardoned Wiz Khalifa. I think Wiz Khalifa advocated for a couple of the people that he pardoned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know that Wiz Khalifa
Harry-O was a big one in the rap world that got clemency.
What about this guy that got let's see, was he was granted clemency, and this is the one that a lot of people are talking about. Doctoral student connected to Chinese Communist Party gets 8 years for child porn. Shanlin Jin, who lived in Allen, was studying at Southern Methodist University, had over 47,000 such files on his computer, the FBI said, and he's been granted clemency.
What do you think the motivation for that is?
I think maybe some Texas lawmaker maybe made a call.
Oh,
what do you
boy.
think,
I think he probably fell into a category because this was categorical. They didn't review all of these cases. That would take way too much time. They don't have enough of people. So I think he probably fell into the categories.
What category would he be in? The child predator category?
Well, that's what I'm going to say. If anybody had a case, if I were advising on this, if anybody had a case related to child pornography, they should not have received clemency, obviously. Jesus. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I don't understand that either. Like, I mean, maybe somebody should review like one or two of them. Like, well, I don't. I would love to know if there was a justification for that or what their justification was.
I mean, just Command F if you're using, or Control F, whatever platform, whatever OS you're using, and just search, child pornography and just X out those ones. Don't do those guys.
Was that what he was? Was that what he was charged with, or was he charged with something else?
Convicted pedophile is all I'm reading.
Yeah, pedophiles should rot in jail.
Yeah. All right.
Jay-Z,
well,
I mean,
excuse me.
Allegedly.
The Post Millennial says that Biden releases Chinese prisoner arrested with 47,000 child sex abuse images. An FBI agent testified that his family was connected to influential members of the Communist Party of China. Maybe that's what it has to do with it. I don't know.
Why don't you find the good case? Why you got to bring down the whole thing? There's a bunch of people that are going home to their families, and deservedly, and you got to come poo-poo on it with this one case that's on right-wing media. And there's probably a bunch of really good people who get to go home.
They're all child predators, every single one.